if you are thinking of investing in real estate, there are 3 points I'm going to make. And I'm going to make the first point by telling you a story. When my mother was nearing retirement, she came up with an elaborate business plan. She was going to build a nursing home where aged people, old people could stay so that they won't be a burden on their children. And she came up with that idea for two reasons. Number one, she has spent quite some time in the UK and she had seen the idea work there. And so she was the director of nursing services in Lagos. She knew that the governor was planning a public-private partnership with people who were interested in building nursing homes, in which the price of each patient would be discounted. So she invested money. She got a building specification from Lagos State. She built exactly according to specification, invested millions, built the property. Now, the issue was the government that came up with that plan did not win a second term. They lost the gubernatorial election. A new governor came in and kind of just shelved the plan. And unfortunately, my mother could not use that building for anything else because it was built specifically. There's a way, if you've seen a nursing home before, there's a specific way it's built that it's hard to convert it for any other purpose. So the time my mother passed, that building was never used for anything. As I'm talking to you today, to use that building for anything, you literally have to tear it down and rebuild. The only thing it can be used for is a nursing home. Which brings me to my first point. The smartest way to optimize your property in today's world is to build it in a multi-purpose format. That means to build it as a warehouse or an empty space, as if it's an event hall. Just build it as a space. The internal segmentation, you will use plywood or plates, or those plywood or plates to do the internal segmentation for any purpose. It doesn't matter if you are building for residential purposes. That's the smartest way to optimize buildings today. The reason for that is that imagine that I build a house for residential purposes, but I use plates or plywood to segment. If for any reason I don't want to use it for residential purposes, anybody can take it up. A restaurant can take it up. A business can take it up. Anybody, all they need to do is to take down all the internal segmentation and resegment, and that's all. But if I've used bricks to build it, that's impossible. So to fully optimize your property, build in multi-purpose formats. That's the first point. The second point is that you need to choose the lands you're acquiring quite carefully. There's this wrong concept that most of us have, that land always appreciates. That's not true. Like every other asset class, the appreciation of your land is dependent on the particular land that you picked. So if I pick equities today, it doesn't mean I'm going to make money unless the particular equities I pick is doing well. If I pick a fixed deposit investment, it doesn't mean it's going to do well. If I go and pick a fixed deposit from a company that is going bankrupt, I'm already in trouble. So the same thing with landed property. You cannot go and buy a land in a remote area without any knowledge of anything that will make it appreciate. Like, for example, maybe a road is coming into that area or university is going to be built in that area. You just purchase the land because land always appreciates. That's not true. So I typically advise people to purchase land beside the road because the demand for that is always high, and it is demand that drives appreciation in land. So choose your land very carefully. Prioritize lands by the roadside. It's more expensive, but the demand for it is usually more. And then thirdly, if you're just interested in maximizing returns, you're not really interested in holding lands, consider real estate investment trust schemes. So the way the scheme works is that real estate development companies have a land they want to build, a source for funds from the public to build up those lands, and you contribute money, they build the land, they assign a unit to you. Now, the reason why that's smart is it takes away the stress of looking for a viable land. It takes away the stress of you having to protect and secure the land. And thirdly, it takes away the stress of management. Since the real estate development company will be managing the land, you just put in money, and anytime you have a lease in the unit that was assigned to you, to be paying the rent to you. Of course, less of management fees, as the case may be. So you want to consider that. And these are some of the things that you should consider when thinking of real estate investment.